It's that time of year again. The sun's out in Britain, it's peak British summer, and in Formula One, that means only one thing. It's time for the Qatar Airways British Grand Prix. Very British sounding name, if you ask me. This track has given us some iconic moments over the years, like Lewis bringing home a three-wheeler, Carlos Sainz winning his first ever Grand Prix, and Lewis getting his ninth win in Silverstone in that Mercedes Grand Effect car that wasn't fit for porpoise.
Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot to get this one.
This is Formula Party, and this is British Grand Prix, as I saw it. 2013. That's the last time Lewis failed to make the podium at this track. He's looking for his 16th podium in Silverstone, and he's currently on his longest drought without any sort of trophy. To be fair to Lewis, it's him that started the weekend right, popping the timesheets in FP1. It's not often we get to say that, but it's always nice. He narrowly beat out the McLaren of Lando Norris, McLaren who bought a special livery this weekend, as did the Racing Bulls. And as for the Racing Bulls special livery, whoever designs their liveries cooks every time.
Someone cooked here.
Also in FP1, we had two rookies on track. The first of them, Arvid Lindblad. You must have heard that name loads in the build up to this race, and you probably will in the future, because you can just smell that Red Bull are ready to set up one of their drivers and banish them into the abyss. The second driver is young Estonian Paul Aron, who's in for Hulkenberg this weekend in that stake F1 car that no one knows the name of, because really, who cares? Aron's part of the Alpine Driver Academy, and probably eyeing up Colapinto's seat. Or at least Briatore is, because, he's had his 5 races and it's already been too long. Bortoleto and Gasly were both on track this session, and they both had moments. Bortoleto's spin was something he did really well to keep out of the wall, and Gasly had a pirouette at Copse. To be fair, as an Alpine driver, you really can't be doing that, because who's to say whether Briatore is feeling freaky and might just drop you out your seat? As far as the teams look this session, Ferrari look okay, McLaren are McLaren. Mercedes, there or thereabouts. The Racing Bulls were both faster than Max, and Alpine, where they belong, near the bottom of the table. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against Alpine, but they're just so badly run. It's such a circus. There's so many better people you could have in F1. FP2 time when the English weather was doing what it does best, looking a bit shaky. The clouds are coming in, and the forecast isn't looking great to be fair for the rest of the weekend. We might have a wet quali, but who knows? Norris was fastest this time, out ahead of Charles by a good 2 tenths. Looking around the track, Lawson was doing what he does best. I feel like it's every week you see him cussing someone on track, saying, "Mate, what the fuck are these guys doing?" Aston Martin looked promising. They came with an upgraded floor, as did many other teams, focusing on floor upgrades for this weekend. Pace was decent, and Lance even made it into the top 10. Williams, on the other hand, missing. Sainz with a spin, Williams looking slow as fuck, and only a point since Monaco. I don't know what's happened, but they've fallen off a little bit, and it doesn't look great. But they're still fifth in the constructors, and I hope they stay there. Red Bull were also struggling for pace, and with all the noise around where Max will be driving next year, Red Bull need to sort it out because.
It's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking good.
And also, the longer this goes on, the longer the man with two first names is going to be quaking in his boots, answering the same question every week. Why haven't you got a new contract in Mercedes yet, George? And you've got a feel for him, man. He's in the form of his life right now. He's putting in shift after shift, good drive after good drive, and all he's getting in return is no contract. And Toto, flirting with his arch nemesis in open public. Oh, and at some point before the race weekend even started, we had this gold from Lewis and Brundle.
What a shot
thanks,
that
man.
was.
That certainly means a lot coming from you. You don't,
Well, I'm not
don't have
exactly
too many
Mr.
positive
Stylish.
things to always say. Always.
Well, that's not
So,
true.
That definitely wasn't awkward, and Lewis is in a bit of a sassy mood this year, so love to see it. Over to Saturday now, and in true British fashion, clouds are out, the rain is coming. And to be fair, good for Mercedes because it might bring them into play. Just to add that extra British spice to the weekend, FP3 started 5 minutes late. The marshals were out on track sweeping off any marbles into the gravel trap. We did eventually get a green light in FP3. Gasly came out first, followed by Colapinto. The team had made some changes overnight, but what they did forget was that it is an Alpine. News had broke that the Williams had broke curfew due to a planned power unit change, and eventually, given the changing conditions, cars weren't rushing to get out, but they did eventually amble out. It took about a good 15 minutes before the track got busy, and that's when some sort of chaos ensued. The times did come tumbling down in the end, with Charles beating Lando's FP2 time by 3 tenths, but Everyone struggled out there, and no one at the top more so than Lewis, who couldn't put in a clean lap. And when he did, the red flag came in and stopped him there. And just a few minutes before the end of the session, Portoletto crashed and caused a red flag that cut the session short. To summarise, it was the usual suspects doing what they do up in the top four places, and the surprise Yuki Tsunoda in P5. Still 6 tenths off the top, but at least he's there. And spoiler alert, he didn't keep it up in quali. He was out in Q2. Could have made it to Q3, but he's just in the Red Bull second car. Qualifying was interesting though. Colapinto did what he does best, his Richard Ambert impression, which he likes to do almost every week now, absolutely binning the car in the final sector, causing a red flag. Ferrari almost never made it out of Q1. Thankfully they did. Our friends in the green boats were out sailing again too. Don't know where their paces disappeared. Q2 was fairly routine. It was Antonelli out on track looking like a man possessed, losing his mind, going all over track, getting in everyone's way and pissing everyone off. Tsunoda was out, like I said, but it was Ferrari who had us in the first half with his terrible runs on used tyres, but the second runs took him to the top, and that's where they finished in Q2. Gasly somehow made it to Q3, but I'm not going to apologise for the Alpine slander, because it's Alpine. And Behrman also made it. He's in form this weekend, if just for a moment you overlook the pit lane incident. I'm still lost for words about Q3, to be honest. Max put in an absolutely stonking lap. Jesus Christ, did those bottle jobs really give it away? Piastri could have had it easily, but he bottled it. Lewis, purple sector 1, personal best sector 2, bottle job sector 3. I can't believe it. Charles wasn't far off either. George did really well to get up into the top 5, but it's genuinely such a surprise that Ferrari aren't even on the front row. Their race pace is looking solid though, so I pray they clutch up tomorrow. Right, time for race day now. All off, guys. Genuinely don't know what to say about the race. It started, and the safety car decided, nah, it needs me for the formation lap, and out it came. As soon as it came in, so did George Russell and Charles Leclerc, and Ferrari making the strategy call. You know how that goes. Leclerc's race was finished from there. Lawson and Hadjar crashed, virtual safety car, then Senna Mark II went in for mediums on lap 4 and crashed in that green boat. The race just didn't want to stop. Eventually did, but then the safety car came out and cut to the race. Isaac Hadjar had a big crash, and all of the rookies, one way or another, managed to find a way to DNF. Himi did, and it wasn't his fault, to be fair. Except Behrman. Behrman didn't DNF. He actually put in a shift again. I thought he was going to catch George for the final points paying position, but the checkered flag fell just in time. Oh, and there was rain at some point, which is why the safety car cut the race for a good few laps. There was a bit of pitter patter, and all of a sudden, when the rain disappeared, carnage ensued again. I feel like there was carnage all weekend, but every car pitted, everyone disappeared, came out on a different set of tyres, and all of a sudden, you know what I said about the Sauber being a green boat? Well, you know what happens when there's a wet track and there's rain? The boat just slides through. And he ended up chasing Stroll for a podium position, which went on for quite a few laps. Right behind them was Lewis. Let's just get it in here and say Lewis bottled it. He pitted before Hulk, had a nice stop. Hulk had a bad stop, and he came out and went off track straight away. And even Leclerc overtook him. Or we'll leave Leclerc out of this one because he finished 14th, so you don't really want to talk about that. Lo and behold, Hulkenberg, 239 races, he finally graces the podium. And that's all you need to know about the British Grand Prix. Because, to be honest, Oscar bottled it with a silly rookie error, and Lando somehow inherited the win. Fuming about it, but you have to be there to win, so fair play to him. And Oscar, in making his rookie error behind the safety car, also cut to Verstappen and ruined his race. So good on him. The Red Bulls have fallen further. All you need to know is this is Hulkenberg's world. We're all just living in it. And that was British Grand Prix. Thanks for watching my review of the British Grand Prix. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in Spa.